Curb. Shout out Raven.
Blood on my teeth, don't be walking down the street. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never eat. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never sleep. Pull up in a park and these bitches look at me. Look at P. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. Fake friends, they don't wanna see me win now. Deep water, they don't wanna see me swim now. Water.
Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I'm your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out, www.spreaker.com/user/Best Damn Podcast. Also check out the Best Damn Podcast.tv. Follow me, Instagram at Best Damn Podcast, Twitter at The Real Best Damn. And wherever you're watching from, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and give that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And share. The number one way to support is just by sharing, getting these links out there. That way new people can see it, new people can find it. If you'd like to donate and support to the channel, you can do that in the links below in the description. PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger Pay. Let me say what's up to Gabriel Ariana, Aaliyah Deanne, Dick Flinghammer. I'm sorry, I'm a child. Alan Anderson. Thanks, it takes you everywhere. Mandy, hashtag humanity isn't a virus. Rachel Wynn, Sherry Hunter, Jimmy Neutron. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. And I already had to block somebody before the show started, so this should be a good night tonight. I'm gonna show you some cool stuff though. I've got some really cool stuff to share with you guys. We got fucking fake meat in the house. We've got the new TESLABOT, which you're gonna just love this. Elon Musk does this big giant presentation of the TESLABOT, and it was a human. It's just a human fucking dancing around. So I'm sure it has nothing to do with the agenda and all of that that's playing out. I have got some just absolutely dynamic videos right now from La Palma and, just the catastrophic weather and all of that that's taking place right now everywhere, to the things that we're seeing in the sky. And I mean, the celestial phenomena, dude, it's mind-blowing. Just one of the videos, like a couple of years ago, would have been enough to go viral. Now it's just like everybody's like, I see planets every day. No big deal. No big deal. Hello from Kansas City. Well, hello from Ohio, Melanie. SVVGZVVB. Okay, I don't know. I'm sucking with the names. I'm going to start with the names now, and we're just going to get into this. Mr. Gates and his fake ass food. Did you guys see? This is not like the first time someone's created fake food recently. I believe it was Russia. They had a 3D printer and they printed some meat, is what they did. Just about a year or so ago, I actually covered the stuff. Mike Coot over from Facebook Live. Oh, from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canadian. Oh, hey, there's that sorry ass admin, Know Thyself. Everybody go subscribe to Know Thyself's channel. Justin, my homie. Tomorrow night, guys, let me give you a couple announcements. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be joining on the Boogeyman channel. You guys know Andrew, and I'm sure you know of his work. He's going to be interviewing me, but it's not like, your run-of-the-mill interview. Matter of fact, he already sent me, a bunch of the questions and all of this. It's going to be a very, very good show. So I suggest you go over to Boogeyman channel and you subscribe and you click that little bell and you watch some of his videos. He has had some stuff here lately that I believe has probably gotten him shadow banned harder than he ever has before. Just like, Black Ops, military planes, and just all types of craziness, man. And tomorrow night, I'm going to go over there and increase the shadow ban on myself by hanging out with him. But, I'm telling you, some of these topics we're going to be covering, man, cool stuff. So, I'm really excited. Looking fancy. I don't know about that, man. I look like a bum right now. Like the Unabomber, as usual. Yeah, you love the Boogie channel, because that's where you found the Best Damn Podcast. Oh, that's what's up. I'll be on the missing link November the 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, and I just had a doctor. I don't want to mispronounce or get her name wrong, but I'm going to be bringing her on in the next couple of days. I wanted to wait till I did this interview tomorrow to bring her on. So this weekend, you can probably expect me to be having a doctor to cover. You guys know what, right? But they reached out to me. They've been on the missing link and other channels, and they want to share their wealth of knowledge and information, because you know what? It's one thing coming from me about all of these agendas, right? Like, that's one thing. But when an actual doctor brings you the info, it's quite different now, isn't it? It's hard to argue with that, even though they've had to create like coalitions kind of thousands of doctors now because of this agenda. And there's even places where you can go online and get prescribed certain things that are not being permitted, if you catch my drift. So maybe I'll put that down in the comment section after the video's over if anybody needs any of that. And I promise you, this next private show, this is going to be groundbreaking too. Groundbreaking. And I bet I will do it with this doctor, matter of fact. Because there's a lot of stuff that's come out. Here, let me show you something while I got it in my brain kicking around. You guys know about the different waves of the things that are taking place, right? I can't speak too much. Please read between the lines. I know you're smart enough too if you're watching this. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, right? These are different variations of something taking place. Well, what a lot of people doesn't know, that these also correspond to brain waves, right? They correspond to brain waves, human brain waves. And the delta waves are actually, and here, let me pull up the definition. So this will let you know where we're at in all of this too, okay? What is the function of the various waves? Delta waves. Now you're going to love this. You're going to love this. It's all going to make sense to you as soon as you hear this. Delta waves are high amplitude neural oscillations with a frequency between 0.5 and 4 hertz. Delta waves, like other brain waves, can be recorded, blah, 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 and are usually associated with the deep stage of REM sleep. The deep stage of REM sleep. Now, think about it. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, right? Like, think about it. And the different waves that have rolled out. That's what they've been called. First wave, second wave, third wave, the fourth wave. And we have what variant? You get my drift? And what is it associated with? The deep REM state of sleep. So when you think to yourself, why can't we wake these people up? Why can't we get their attention? Why won't they listen? You have your answer. They're sleeping. Literally, they're sleeping. There is no waking them up. That's why you see, and I'm going to show you too another thing tonight that is absolutely fascinating. I'm going to do an entire video on it one day, but for tonight, it's going to make a lot of sense of why, and it's a dead internet theory. It's why we see, through the shadow banning, through the censorship and all of this, what the intent of this was through these artificial intelligence algorithms to kind of trap us in these echo chambers that we're in now, right? And like I told you before, anytime we see these shutdowns or Facebook down, YouTube down, right? Twitter, we've seen it a bunch, right? And there's supposedly DNS problems and all of this. What happens? You see the algorithm come back extremely aggressive, whether it's adpocalypse or whatever. Back in 2013, there was even a point where they did a study on YouTube and said that 50% of the traffic was bots. Okay? I've told you guys, the World Wide Web is the web that was spun around you, right? By this spider that we call Saturn, right? This is the cube god. He's also associated with the spider. That's why you see in Bohemian Grove, weaving spiders, not weave here or some shit like that, right? It's literally right on top of the entrance as you're walking in to Bohemian Grove. The World Wide Web is to trap your consciousness. Social media is social engineering and data mining, right, for the human consciousness. And this all starts back with the White Rabbit Project, right? And it's the rabbit hole, right? That's what they're putting you in, is a rabbit hole, right? Or a bottomless pit, or a room, essentially, you know? And it doesn't allow for growth when it comes to ideas. They only use, in certain systems like Twitter will use, and I'll show you the clips here in a few minutes, certain systems will use just enough contrasting opinions to create arguing and emotional responses. But for the most part, a lot of these rabbit holes are just echo chambers to trap different people in, to reaffirm their thoughts or beliefs over and over and over and over again. And then you have the social kind of credit scoring system, right? The reward program based on whether or not you're going along with the agenda or what's considered politically correct, socially acceptable. They literally do this on every platform. I know if I put a certain title, that's why I use the title I use tonight, guys. Y'all are going to have to start understanding I can't use the titles I used to, because I know I won't be able to reach one of you if I do, right? And that's why the audiences are slimming down too. It's meant to do that. It's meant to lighten the effect of actual human beings and overwhelm the internet with bots. And then you'll see systematically, you know, people are deplatformed. We thought that was just cancel culture. No, that's the dead internet theory. That's them removing the information they don't want on there just to reaffirm the shit they do, right? It's absolute insanity. And then you see, as we're being taken along this ride, we're now, you know, from alpha, beta, gamma, delta to this fourth wave of deep sleep and REM state as a collective, you know? And it makes a whole lot of sense. It's like, okay, well, they're only now sharing ideas that are reaffirming the propaganda and mind control. And you have to understand all of this is about mind control. Even what you're seeing now with the mark of the beast and all of that, that began with MK Ultra, right? It began with MK Ultra. And like I've said, they used trauma-based mind control, emotional responses, right, to fracture the psyche and build altars in the mind, right? And that's why when we see different celebrities and shit like that, they will have alter egos, right? That is them being fractured. And in their psyche and creating an altar to a demonic entity to enter into them, and they can wear that persona or wear that mask. After you participated in the Faustian bargain and you've sold that soul of yours, right, that the I am, then you are just a husk. You're an empty vessel, right? You're just a mask. So that's why they'll create those alter egos. It's just like putting on a new pair of clothes for them, because there is no them anymore. And they'll embody that persona of, musicians from 100 years ago, or musicians that are still alive, because it's interchangeable. They are all recycled back into the system, the host body system, and as rich, powerful, or stars, right? And that's more, and that's why they call them stars too, right? Because they want you to worship the stars. Who are the stars? They're the fallen. They're the fallen, right? Those planets, they're the fallen. So they've got you worshiping the stars when you're at those concerts, right? When you're at those, and you got your hands up, and that's praise. That's one of the ways people praise. When they're in church, they put their hands up. One of the ancient kind of gestures or body language for wholeness and unity is to put your hands up like this. That means I'm connected and everlasting and eternal, right? When you put both of your hands up like this, right? It's saying I'm connected to the stars. I'm infinite, and I'm connected to everyone around me. That's why Christ is on a cross with his hands out, touching both the positive and the negative. So very wild stuff. Now, if this wasn't enough, they're ramping up this agenda big time on every facet. Let me get into the one I want to get to first. We're going to get into some of this news at the start here, and then I've got some crazy shit, man. I'm serious. So get ready. Get ready. Where's that here? I think I put it back here at the beginning. Yeah. Look, Jack in the Box adds Impossible Burger to the menu in select locations. Jack in the Box adding the Impossible Burger, and they've finally gotten on board with the plant-based movement after its competitors started offering plant-based options. The fast food restaurant decided to add the Impossible Burger to their menu to cater to the meatless crowd. The meatless crowd. I'm sure they're meatless in quite a few ways. I tried Impossible's new nuggets. Here's what I thought. Impossible is now a household name. You sure about that? Because I never heard of it until you guys started pushing it. But the company has been hard at work trying to turn plant-based ingredients into more delicious vegan meat alternatives. The latest development, chicken nuggets. Not like chicken nuggets were ever chicken anyways. And our beef with the GMO Impossible Burger. And this is where you need to pay attention, right? You see that it's in chicken nuggets, it's in beef patties. And what it really is, though. In the foodie world, 2019 might as well have been named the year of the Impossible Burger. The plant-based burger that bleeds can now be found in the menus at Burger King, Fat Burger, Cheesecake Factory, Red Robin, White Castle, and many other national restaurant chains. Consumers praise the burger's meat-like texture, and the product is advertised as an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional beef burgers. And in January, Impossible Foods launched the Impossible Burger 2.0. The company has stated that the new burgers tastier, juicier, and more nutritious, featuring 40% less saturated fat than the old recipe and just as much protein, 80-20 ground beef from cows. The new product is also gluten-free, replacing wheat with soy protein. And here's the thing, the soy and all of this, guys, look. This is all part of the agenda. Let me show you something. Right, and here's the Impossible meat here. We can see some images of this. the impossible meat. Hold on. I used it as a thumbnail. You could, the 12-ounce pack of meat, the 2-pack of meat, the frozen 6-pack. Ooh, that looks yummy. The 8-pack, and now this. Look at this. This is what soy products and shit have been used for. Convicted sex offender sues over soy in prison food. It is cruel and unusual punishment. A sex offender serving a life term in a Florida prison says the prison food is making him sick. So the inmate is suing the Florida Department of Corrections for serving him food that contains soy as a substitute for meat in prison meals. David Northrup, who goes by the alias Eric Harris, is the inmate who brought the suit. The Weston A. Price Foundation is picking up the initial cost of the suit, and it describes itself as leading voice of what it calls the dangers of soy food. These men are guinea pigs, sound familiar? We are too, who are being fed high levels of soy. I bet it's not as high as this, though. Right? And the Price Foundation said, the foundation says 500 Florida inmates have complained about the prison food since the corrections departments began using soy in 2009. The suit wants the judge in order for officials to stop serving meals labeled Southern barbecue, meatloaf, meaty macaroni that contain the high percentage of soy. And I've seen some shit too. That just recently they've been putting out studies saying soy doesn't affect testosterone, but you guys know that it does actually increase estrogen levels as well as affect testosterone levels in men, especially in boys or teens, people that are still developing and growing, or men that are out of their prime, so to speak. And I don't want to be like graphic and shit like that, but I just want to say, like, you wonder why we have like an identity crisis within males in particular, or shit like erectile dysfunction and all of this. It's because of the processed foods and the soy that's being dumped on all of us, right? And you even see an imbalance in females from a lot of these things as well. So this to me is all part of, and guess who's behind it, by the way? Does anybody know who's behind the impossible food? Does anybody? Soy boys coming. I don't know why that was so funny. Turns men into women, I heard. Yeah. I don't have the link till tomorrow's interview yet. I will share it, though. I may never eat soy again. Don't, bro. I'm serious. Yes, Bill Gates. Bill Gates. That's who's behind it. Now think about it, you know. We've let this person get in charge of all of the different farming in America. I mean, he owns, you know, the majority of the agriculture in America, and all throughout the world he's got, you know, stock in this. And then we see this massive culling of livestock, sheep, cattle, pigs, right? All of this is happening right fucking now, man. And we also have this mass, burning of the agriculture as well, right? So then we have all of a sudden 3D fucking printed meat and soy products that come out and replace it. This impossible meat. You know why it's impossible? Because it's not meat. That's why it's impossible, you know? And all of these serve an agenda. They all seem to attack the reproductive systems, right? In particular. And remember, it was Yuri Bezmenov who was talking about how you collapse a nation with the destabilization and all of this. But there was more to that, too. Whenever you want to undermine a nation or a society, a civilization, a culture, right? You attack them through their culture, but you also attack their males so they can't defend themselves. You destroy the nuclear family unit, right? These are all different things that, and there's Alice Bailey's 10-point plan in the New World Order. I've done videos on this. There's a million different white papers, documents, all of this stating the intent of the New World Order, the one world system, and how they would take us down. And you find yourself every day waking up to something new, but it's now just all out in the open. And because of what I just spoke about at the start, the dead internet theory, people don't want to end up on the dead side of the internet, so they continue to feed into the social engineering, the propaganda, and the manipulation, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm, insensitive to this, or I don't want to seem like I'm not woke, right? Like, because the whole fake woke culture that they have also, which I think it's funny. I don't want to, say names or anything like that, but I was in a group, dude, and they were talking about basically how woke they are, all this cool stuff they could do. And then I go look at their page, their profile, and it was talking about how proud they were to get the jab. And I thought, what the fuck? What is going on here? When are we, why are we trying to associate that with wokeness? Why are we trying to associate, getting our nuts clipped with wokeness? I mean, this has got nothing to do with it, man. This is the extermination of society, man. That's what it is. Diet woke. That's funny. 3 religions in one. Oh, well, you know what? This is the transhumanist agenda. This is to eradicate us. And speaking of the transhumanist agenda, and I actually have documents too on chemical castration for sexual offenders if you guys want to look into that. I know that's an exciting subject, right? Yeah, fucking clownery. That's right, Dick Flinghammer. You tell them. That's right. But there's the PDF right there for sterility and fertility control over population growth. It's not population growth anymore, though. It's population annihilation, right? That's why. And it's hard to say much on the public platforms, but I was seeing this thing where an older female that already went through menopause and all this, dropping off her children, man. Dropping off her kids. And the father of her kid went along with the agenda. And she's bleeding again and stuff. This is having massive, crazy effects on all of us. And that's why this weekend's private show is going to be dynamic. I've learned something very new about this, guys. And it's absolutely fucking terrifying, the truth be told. But I mean, if we don't have knowledge, then we'll perish. That's what the Bible even says. For lack of knowledge, surely my people will perish. Now let me skip over to here now. Let's go to Mr. Elon Musk and get his dancing robot here, which is hilarious. Not Julian Assange too, which, here, let's go to Assange first. Lawyer Julian Assange suffers from autism and could commit suicide if sent to United States. I wonder, and this is just me thinking out loud, guys. I know that there's nothing to support this, right? Nothing to support this whatsoever. Let's see if I can pull this up. My computer's supposed to update to Windows 11, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the image. It's acting weird. Yeah, right here. Oh, shit. Here, I'll just show you. Right here. Does this look familiar to anybody? Right here. Julian Assange and his Illuminati card. And stay dead. And stay dead. Oh my gosh. And this is what I mean. Look at that. Identical. Julian Assange's Illuminati card and stay dead. How about that? And now they're dropping shit saying that Assange will commit suicide if brought to the United States. Is that so? Right? Is that so? Because that's pretty strange, you know? Considering you guys have Illuminati cards talking about he would, he would die again, right? And stay dead. Like, you ain't coming back to screw us over type shit is how I take the interpretation. Let me find the article again. Sorry, guys. One moment, guys. I apologize. Right here. Here, let me make sure you guys have sound. Okay, you do.
Press Club in April 2010 to release a video depicting a U.S. Apache military helicopter killing 18 people, including 2 Reuters journalists.
This particular event is clearly murder.
He was hailed in some circles as a hero.
We really owe a debt to Mr. Assange and to WikiLeaks.
In the months that followed, WikiLeaks released massive tranches of classified and sensitive documents related to the U.S. wars in Afghanistan and in Iraq, as well as more than 250,000 U.S. diplomatic cables. As U.S. intelligence agencies scrambled to deal with leaks on a scale never seen before, Assange rose to worldwide stardom, and for some, infamy.
Government secrets, lies, and embarrassing facts, they're all on the web for anyone to see.
The story behind the biggest leak in intelligence history, profile on me.
Hello, America. I'm Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks.
But with infamy came increased scrutiny for Assange, and by 2012, the walls were closing in. Faced with an extradition order to Sweden for multiple charges, including rape, he found refuge in Ecuador's London embassy.
I thank President Correa for the courage he has shown in considering and in granting me political asylum.
The Obama administration struggled with the First Amendment issues surrounding charging Assange with crimes related to the disclosure of classified information.
The fact is, these documents don't reveal any issues that haven't already informed our public debate.
And ultimately declined to do so.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
With the advent of the Trump administration also came new blood to the upper echelons of the Justice Department and national security bureaucracy, and a new, tougher attitude toward Assange.
It's time to call out WikiLeaks for what it really is. A non-state hostile intelligence service often abetted by state actors like Russia.
This antagonism only intensified when WikiLeaks started publishing ultra-secret CIA hacking tools in March 2017. In response, the CIA repeatedly proposed kidnapping the WikiLeaks founder from the Ecuadorian embassy in London and flying him to the United States. Some senior Trump administration officials and CIA executives even discussed assassinating Assange, according to former intelligence officials. Later in 2017, U.S. intelligence agencies picked up reports that Russian intelligence agents were plotting to arrange for Assange to escape London. Some of the suspected scenarios appeared almost cartoonish, ranging from the lanky Australian hiding himself in a laundry cart to hopping into a Russian diplomat's van and being loaded onto a cargo plane to Russia. The intrigue over an Assange breakout set up a wild scramble among rival spy agencies to position themselves for what might happen. CIA and Trump administration officials prepared for a number of scenarios to prevent Assange from escaping to Russia, including potential gun battles with Russian operatives on the streets of London, smashing a car into the vehicle transporting Assange and grabbing him, and shooting out the tires of a plane carrying Assange before it could take off. While the kidnapping plot never came to pass, President Trump was briefed and warned that the matter could provoke an international incident.
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
Other officials, including Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who was, quote, very, very anti-Assange, argued that Assange's case was best handled through overt legal channels.
The Attorney General will be involved in that, and he'll make a decision.
By 2019, the Swedes had dropped their investigation into Assange, but the WikiLeaks founder had also worn out his welcome in the Ecuadorian embassy. Exactly 9 years and 6 days after his first appearance at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., Assange was evicted and released into British custody. That same day, the US government unsealed its initial indictment of Assange. A British judge initially ruled that Assange could not be extradited to the United States, citing a high risk of suicide. But in July, a UK court formally permitted a US appeal to move forward. For now, Assange's legal odyssey appears to have only just begun.
No, I think it's just ending, actually, right? Just ending. And we all know about WikiLeaks, and, you know, what's so crazy about that, and all the pro-Trumpers, they seem to, have like, a memory block when it comes to Assange. This is the guy that, and let's pretend like your vote counts, just for a second, okay? Let's hypothetically say it does. It doesn't, but let's say it does. So if your vote actually counted, this would have been the guy who actually got Trump elected, and then he dicked him so hard when he got his moment, his opportunity, and then all of the he'll commit suicide stuff. They're setting it up for just like that guy who owned that island, right? You guys know, except it's an inverted scenario here. They suicided that dude for an entirely different reason, right? Because he was one of them, and they probably needed to fake, his demise in order to protect him, because he was most definitely a Mossad agent. That's for sure, as well as involved with FBI, CIA, and I don't doubt for even just a second that Assange isn't the same. Right, that he's involved, CIA, FBI, all of that as well. And it's just awful convenient. They had the card for pizza too, if you guys don't remember. Right, they had the card for pizza also. And then you have the and stay dead. And they're getting ready to extradite him, and all the concerns are for suicide. You put 2 and 2 together, man. Because I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy.
The government is fighting to return Julian Assange to the States so he can face federal espionage charges. Today is day 1 of an appeal hearing in a British court. A grand jury indicted the WikiLeaks founder for helping former U.S. Army soldier Chelsea Manning steal files about Afghanistan and the wars in Iraq.
And it's crazy that Obama didn't do nothing and Trump did. It just shows you, man, none of that, none of what you think is real, or what you perceive as real when it comes to these actors, right? It's all one big show, man. One big show. Suicide or Swiss side? Yeah. American moms are awesome. What? I love moms too. So, yeah. Okay. Elon Musk reveals the Tesla bot. Here's the full presentation, guys. I want you to enjoy. This is the new Tesla bot. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But if you haven't gotten it by now, the Tesla bot is a human. And if you don't understand, and I've seen a really good video on BitChute, and I'm actually going to show a clip from it where they're showing how Elon Musk, when he was talking about neural lace, he was saying that it could be actually introduced through your veins, right? Intravenously, and veins and arteries. That it's not just a surgical operation, which you have to understand that, you know, the whole surgical, they got to put this shit in your, you know, crack your skull open and stick this shit in your head, was a decoy for what was really being rolled out, which we all know about by now, most of us anyways. Unless you've taken it, then you're in a deep ass sleep right now, so nighty-night. So they're showing this to show like what the new humanoid, you know, this is a transhumanist cybernetic organism. This is the whole fucking agenda right here, and they're making it dance. You get me? This is the esoteric meaning right here. They're mocking you like every good demon does. They mock the Trinity. They mock, right? And that's what's happening here. They're mocking you in your face because you're so stupid you can't figure it out that you're the robot, and they're going to make you dance.
Thank you. Now, unlike Dojo, obviously that was not real. So Dojo is real. The Tesla bot will be real. But basically, if you think about what we're doing right now with the cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are like semi-sentient robots on wheels. And with the full self-driving computer, essentially the inference engine on the car, which will keep evolving, obviously, and Dojo, and all of the neural nets recognizing the world, understanding how to navigate through the world.
Neural net.
It kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. And we're also quite good at sensors and batteries and actuators.
It makes sense to put that on a humanoid form. The semi-sentient car and inference-based system through a neural network, right? They're telling you exactly what they're doing. You're going to be connected into all of the devices. And they're showing you the phases, like I just showed you, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, right? I showed you the phases of how they're walking people through and putting them into that state to be able to receive these signals and be assimilated into this agenda. I can't speak about it too much. I can't show too much of anything, or else I'll be, striked and all of that. So there's no point in doing it. We'll save it for the private shows. But you guys, you see what I'm trying to say here, I hope. But by now, this is not a joke. This shit's real as you and me. And it was actually Andrew from Boogeyman Channel that brought up a point to me on the phone the other day. We were talking, and he said that he doesn't believe a lot of this technology is real. And I kind of was a little bit arrogant, I guess, about it. And I thought, yeah, right, man. I've seen a lot of this under microscopes, and I've seen, or did I think I've seen? Do we think we've seen under microscopes and all of that? And what did we see when we looked? Right? And then I started finding this new information that I'll be sharing with you in the next private show this weekend about contact poisons and how it has a half-life of 2 to 3 people and what virility is all about, actually, and where it originates and where it comes from and what it actually functions as and what type of functions it can perform. And I found myself kind of coming full circle thinking, holy shit, maybe he's right. Once again, it's the You know, the magician pulling the fucking rabbit out of the hat. Like, hey, look over here, but not over here. Right? Making you think that they have the power of the gods, because that's who they see themselves as. These gods. But in truth, once again, the technology that we're told is nothing more than a fictional lie. The system of control is nothing more than a fictional lie. Think about it. Anytime that you're dealing with demonic, archonic entities, what they do is, and this is how witchcraft works too, okay? Curses, hexes, spells, all of it, sigils, is by convincing you that it does have power over you. By getting you to manifest or attract or collectively create a said reality, suggested reality, with the intent behind it. So, as you see what they're doing, this mimicry of the human anatomy, the human body, the human consciousness and psyche, along with all of the creation in which we exist in, that we are collectively manifesting and creating, I think they've come up short. And I think what they're doing is nothing more, every part of this is nothing more than another attempt to create some virtual existence that you yourself will lock yourself into. Just like the mental prison before you have awakened and brought yourself into awareness. And a lot of people will say, oh, you're not awake if you don't believe exactly as I believe. Bullshit. Bullshit. The awakening is understanding this entire system around us and the structure of it and how it is changing our minds, right? And keeping us in this fucking echo chamber of lies. This illusion and this dream state, basically, right? Where we're buying into the projection, the phantom that we say is us or believe is us. And believing in the powers of the system around us, which has no power unless we give it. We're able to see everything from every perspective and angle. We're able to take a look at all of it simultaneously because we've broken away the chains, right? We've broken them off. And what they've done is so clever in a way. It's so clever because they will even use the people that believe they're undermining the system and undermining the systematic control and the entire structure of the archonic system. They'll use them to reinforce the lie, right? They think that they're exposing something by showing leaked footage of this and that. But what if it was just reinforcing the fact that they had this power through this alleged technology? You know, what if it's not them at all? What if it's not us at all? Nobody stops to consider this anymore, you know. Anytime an alien is mentioned, they believe that it's some good force for good coming to save you, or, you know, it's someone from another galaxy, or some, you know, when it's nothing more than these interdimensional entities that exist within this same space and time that we're in right now. We just can't see them, right? They're invisible to the eye. We have been had, man, in a major way. In a major way. And I'm not telling you that none of this stuff does exist or nothing's being introduced into the human body through these agendas, because I believe there is. But I don't believe it's what we were thinking it was originally. Check this out.
Dream or nightmare that we are all a part of with this graphene oxide nanotechnology neural lace.
But doesn't that imply surgical insertion?
Not necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries, because that provides...
By surgical insertion?
Not necessarily. You could go through the veins and arteries.
Not necessarily. You can go through the veins and arteries. How about that? Why everybody thinks he's a good guy. Right? He's not part of it. No way. Not him. Why would he participate, right? He warned us, didn't he? Didn't he do that? He said it was summoning a demon. Watch the agenda unfold. It's here for you. See? Look at this. Lawmakers seek answers on armed services plans to address gun tracking. I told you guys with H.R. 1, I believe it was H.R. 127, that this is what they were bringing out, that we were going to watch the erosion and all of these different events with the lone wolves at Amtrak and all these different places where mass, have occurred. This was all to take us to a specific place. Just like the supply chains, just like the fuel shortage, just like the destruction of the agriculture and the livestock, it's all to take us somewhere, right? It's all to get us completely cornered, honestly. And they've got to strip you of things. And I don't believe it'll be the United States government that actually strips us of these, okay? And I can't say the word. But I don't believe it'll be them that strips us of these. I believe that it'll be the UN under the disarmament treaty, where they can take in a natural disaster, they can actually take and convert the National Guard into UN peacekeeping soldiers. And remember, in a conflict with China, which Taiwan is a boiling point right now, if we go in, it's on. It's WW3. It's live. And we know that it is really just kind of a smoke screen for the celestial events and the catastrophic events that are taking place. The conflicts are. But they're going to need to know who's got what, where they are, right? And this is what they're setting up. Democratic lawmakers are seeking answers from the armed services regarding their plans to better track military equipment. The letter to the Secretary of Defense, Army, Navy, and Air Force on Monday asked for what departments are doing to account for military equipment and make sure that it isn't stolen. It's not to make sure that it isn't stolen, in my opinion. It's to make sure, well, I guess technically it would be, but to be turned against them, right? People are going to begin to figure out what's taking place, and they're going to start to create ideas and ways and tactics to defend themselves from the tyranny. And they know this. They don't want to give you not one moment, not one sliver of an opportunity to do that, right? They need to strip you down of anything you have. They need to control the flow of food, fresh water, energy, as well as anything that would give you an opportunity to defend yourself. And that's why they've brought out the domestic blank label on all of the people, so they can systematically remove anyone that is a threat. They can take care of any militias. I mean, all of it, right? Anybody who was in the military and didn't agree to go along with the agenda. All of the police that don't go along with the agenda. That's why they've replaced in the medical field with FEMA. This is all preparation, man. You're being brought into a soft martial law. Soft martial law. People just can't see it. And like I told you, the hypersonic missile behaves like a meteor. Keep that in mind, because we now have developing events pertaining to the hypersonic missile. And everybody that is, it is what it is, right? Tobacco is going up $2.50 a pack next week. Well, that's okay. Tobacco and alcohol, that's part of it too. We all know why, right? Anything that brings you pleasure, man. Right? Anything that brings you pleasure. I'm sure in Las Vegas, where prostitution is legal, they won't allow you to participate in that unless you have went with the agenda. It's going to continue, guys. This is called hyperinflation and all of it. And speaking of that, I do want to ask everybody who's watching tonight or catches this on the flip side, consider supporting the channel. If we don't get some support, we didn't meet the monthly goal, and if we don't get support, we're going to be on a little bit of a hiatus till after the 2nd of November. We have it's just an interruption of of the services that I use. So I need your support and I need donations if you want to keep seeing shows for about a week. So that's up to you. Somebody made a shitty comment before the show and I blocked them for it. I'm just telling you the situation, telling you the truth, man. I'm having to do side work and all of that just to keep myself afloat right now because we're not getting very much support. So, yeah, but I want to just give you a heads up. So if you don't, that's how it'll be. I'm not telling you one way or the other, but I really would appreciate it if you guys could. So yeah, here you go.
Top U.S. military officer General Mark Milley provided the first official U.S. confirmation of what he called a, quote, very concerning Chinese hypersonic weapons test that military experts say appears to show Beijing's pursuit of an Earth-orbiting system designed to evade American missile defenses. The Pentagon has been at pains to avoid direct confirmation of the Chinese test this summer, first reported by the Financial Times, even as President Joe Biden and other officials have expressed general concerns about Chinese hypersonic weapons development. Last week, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin declined to comment directly on that report.
Thanks for asking the question, but I'm not going to comment on those specific reports.
In an interview with Bloomberg, Milley explicitly confirmed a test and said it was very close to a Sputnik moment, referring to Russia's launch of the first man-made satellite, which put Moscow ahead in the Cold War-era space race. Hypersonic weapons are difficult to defend against because they fly at lower altitudes than ballistic missiles, but can achieve more than 5 times the speed of sound, robbing adversaries of reaction time and traditional defeat mechanisms. China.
And see, they behave like comets. You see how the thing was like zipping across the sky like that? They can't be stopped moving 5 times the speed of sound.
Difficult to defend against because they fly at lower altitudes than ballistic missiles, but can achieve more than 5 times the speed of sound, robbing adversaries of reaction time and traditional defeat mechanisms. China's foreign ministry denied a weapons test. It said it had carried out a routine test in July, but added it was not a missile, it was a space vehicle. The United States and Russia have both tested hypersonic weapons.
Yeah, so there you have it there, you know. See, the real reason the Pentagon is sounding the alarm over China's hypersonic missile. The last video I made, I believe, I was telling you about the Russia and China joint military drills in the Pacific, y'all. Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, and this guy's a fucking traitor anyway, so who cares what he says. Mark Milley, the top-ranking U.S. military officer, warned Wednesday about the scary-sounding new hypersonic missile. I don't know if it's quite a Sputnik moment, but I think it's very close to that. And what the fuck? Look at this. He's wildly exaggerating, as Cameron Tracy from the Union of Concerned Scientists explains in detail. Okay, so let's listen to the guy from the fucking Union of Scientists. Like, their shit is ever legit or accurate anymore. Science is a laughing stock of the world when it comes to the you know, different education, you know, type of realms. So the science is just, yeah, laughable. And we're going to listen to that fucking idiot over the top-ranking military officer telling you that it's bad news. The hypersonic missile is essentially little different from the intercontinental ballistic missile. That's not true. That have been around for decades, and they are not much faster. That's not true. Or stealthier, not true. Or immune to detection, not true. And while hypersonic missiles would be nearly impossible to shoot down, that is already true of ICBMs themselves that travel up to 20 times the speed of sound. The test of anti-ballistic missile technology under ideal conditions have worked sometimes and failed sometimes. Yes, but here's the thing about ICBM and hypersonic. ICBM, you can shoot them down. You might not hit them every single time, but a hypersonic missile can't be shot down. Very, very different. Way bigger, way faster, way stronger, can't be stopped. You get me? I cannot even believe they let this fucking trash, dude, go into the public, public platforms for people to see. But then again, yes, I can, right? They're all sacks of dog shit, so whatever. And where do I want to go next with all of this? Okay, yeah, let's go into the catastrophic shit now. And this should be comforting. Arctic ground literally collapsing amid the abrupt fall. Experts say global emissions need to be cut now to limit the release of powerful greenhouse gases from thawing permafrost. Remember, they said the permafrost would create nuclear waste in the water. And we know that the methane levels have been higher than ever. But guys, what I hope is triggered in your mind, if you've watched my channel enough, and you're a part of the Best Damn Podcast community, then you know that this is a big deal. Not for the reasons that they're saying for, Iron Dome, admittedly defenseless against, yeah. You probably will, DF, yeah. But this is a big indicator, right? We know that in the Lost Book of Inky, that when that Doomsday Glacier broke, that's when all hell broke loose on planet Earth when it comes to Nemesis or Planet X, Herculobos, which we're about to get into all of that right now. Trust the science. Yeah, thanks, Dick. Trust the science. There's supposed to be disease under the ice we can't defend against. Yeah, I know. Ronald Cardwell, Facebook Live, says there's supposed to be disease under the ice that we can't defend against. Yeah, that's what they say. I think that's nonsense, just in my opinion. I think that the viruses and all of that, we know for a fact, and this is why I cannot wait. I'm serious. The next private show is probably going to be the best one of all time. Not only will I have a doctor and stuff joining me, but I'm going to be able to show you the Russian. They did these experiments, Russia did, with frequency, with viruses. And they put them under like petri dishes, and they stacked them on top of each other. They were airtight, right? And through frequency, they could transmit a virus. And it will take you back to this video. Hold on. Where you hear this. Okay? Let me see if I can find it real fast. See if I got it. I am going to record this just because... Oh, that's my private show. Sorry. Hold on, guys. That's the last private show. I apologize.
This is Rapper News. And this is the 2 million mile long.
No, here. I'm going to have to go to the computer. But you guys remember, I showed you. It's on the channel here. This video down here.
Duda was built specifically for agencies.
Jesus.
That means Duda.
Listen.
I mean, obviously, we can't just turn off the spigot on the system we have and then say, hey, everyone in the world should get this new vaccine we haven't given to anyone yet. But there must be some way that we grow vaccines mostly in eggs, the way we did in 1947.
In order to make the transition from getting out
strings and disruptive, that's not.
Here we go.
Is going to take a decade.
There might be a need or even an urgent call for an entity of excitement out there that's completely disruptive, that's not beholden to bureaucratic strings and processes.
So we really do have a problem of how the world perceives influenza, and it's going to be very difficult to change that unless you do it from within and say, I don't care what your perception is, we're going to address the problem in a disruptive way and in an iterative way, because you do need both.
But it is not too crazy to think that an outbreak of a novel avian virus could occur in China somewhere. We could get the RNA sequence from that, beam it to a number of regional centers, if not local, if not even in your home at some point, China somewhere. We could get the RNA sequence from that, beam it to a number of regional centers, if not local, if not even in your home at some point.
Huh. You see what I'm saying? And how that would go with the experiment I was just talking about, how they used frequency. And that's what I mean. I hope you guys, if you join us on Patreon or donate support, you text or email the number and all that, links in the description, and you can get access to that content and this weekend's show. It's going to be a good one. Seriously. Like my whole thought process on it has changed. Like, and I love that. I love when I find something new that changes the way that I see or believe. NASA says we need to talk about what happens when we find life beyond Earth. And NASA's saying this, and let me show you right here too. Even though we have not found any evidence of extraterrestrial life, it's not to say we shouldn't be prepared for one day when that could change. And they still think it's a distinct possibility. In a new scientific commentary led by none other than the space agency's chief scientist, which I have the commentary right here, call for a framework for reporting evidence of life beyond Earth. This is a fucking abstract, guys. Our generation could realistically be the one to discover evidence of life beyond Earth. With this privileged potential comes responsibility. The magnitude of the question of whether we are alone in the universe and the public interest therein opens the possibility that results may be taken to imply more than the observations support, or than the observers intend. As life detection objectives become increasingly prominent in space sciences, it's essential to open a community dialogue about how to convey information in a subject matter that is diverse, complicated, and has high potential to be sensationalized, establishing best practices for communicating about life detection, and conserve to set reasonable expectations on the early stages of a hugely challenging endeavor. Attach value to incremental steps along the path, and build public trust by making clear that the false starts and dead ends are an expected and potentially productive part of the scientific process. Here we endeavor to motivate and seed the discussion with basic considerations and offer an example of how such considerations might be incorporated and applied in proof of concept level framework. Everything mentioned herein, including the name of the confidence scale, is intended not as a prescription, but simply as the beginning of an important dialogue. Damn. And see, they're dropping this everywhere. And look, I'm going to show you this too. Where's it at? Where they're telling you that they believe someone's trying to get our attention. Right. And along with artificial ghosts found in the human genome, right here. Something really wants our attention. One cosmic object emitted 1,652 fast radio bursts in 47 days. Remember, fam, in the last private show, what happened? I talked about how these Hydra vulgaris create this nervous system within us, right? And it becomes like a neural network, okay? And if everybody that had that would create like a hive mind. And the doctor that was showing the slides and all of that was talking about that it would be perfect to receive a signal from something that gave off frequency, low frequency, radiation and magnetism. And I explained that I believed that she was describing, even though she didn't say it at all. Matter of fact, she was leaning more towards 5th generation technology, if you catch my drift. But I've told you guys I believe that's a farce, that that's not what they're going to use at all. I've even shown you the DARPA Beetle and shit, and how it was using radio frequency. Well, peep this out. In that show, we talked about that a star would give off that frequency, right? And if a dark star, right, they're trying to intentionally block out our star, that is raising our consciousness, extending our life, right? Raising our vibration, increasing our intelligence right now because it's in a maximum. That's why we're shifting and transfiguring. We're at the end of a cycle, and the star is changing us. It's mutating us and our DNA for this shift, right? So they're trying to block it out. Chemtrails, mirror systems, artificial suns, nanoparticulates in the air, aluminum, barium, strontium, right? These metals, all of this, okay? And we even see the stratospheric aerosol injection, where they're fucking manipulating the ionosphere and pushing it in and out, and the way the clouds are moving with the cloud seeding, the chemical ice nucleation, all of it. Well, what if there's a dark star, which would be Saturn or Satan, the dragon, and they're trying to bring in this Saturnian age, and we know they are. It's a Saturnian death cult, and its frequency, its signal that it's emitting, is what actually activates this neural network within all of these people, right? And see, this fast radio burst and all this shit they're talking about, I showed you guys the article as well as the study that said that this was actually, that this would be, I don't know why I can't talk tonight, that this would be the same as a dwarf star, right? Like a red dwarf star. That's what this would be, the same to. So maybe not ETs, maybe. But wouldn't it make more sense that if this is exactly identical to a dwarf sun, a dwarf star, that these frequencies that are being emitted, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's been the last, 47 days, which is 11, right? And that's the two pillars, right? That's solar, lunar, that's all of that. Joe Embriano, I don't know who he is. I'll have to check him out. Great information. You feel very enlightened. Well, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. I'm glad, man. The Savior that is coming. Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get all, off in left field, but I promise you, one of the weirdest things about the dream or the vision that I was shown, that I received before I started this channel years ago, was when the sky turned red and this thing was up there, every person turned demonic. I mean, instantly. And it stuck with me. I felt like it meant something, for me to see that. And then what I've learned since basically, goes right with this. It's saying that it's the star that's going to change these people. That's the frequency they're connecting them to. Why? Because artificial intelligence is the medium or the conduit for these intradimensional entities, these fallen, right? These fallen angels. They are manipulating through demonic, forces and people. People are, they're becoming avatars for the demonic system. That's what the whole dead internet theory and all of this is about, is by taking over human thought and replacing it with the demonic bots. And they know exactly what, they are the same frequency as that, right? Think about CERN. That is the bottomless pit. What happens? You open the bottomless pit and all these locusts come pouring out, It's, I'm just trying to tell you, man, it seems like this is exactly what it's all being set up for, and that it is Planet X or the Dragon, whether it's Planet X, Nemesis, Herculobus, or it's just Saturn. I don't know which. But whatever it is, that's what I think is emanating this frequency, this dwarf star system, and that's what's actually going to control everyone and probably be what pulls them all into it as well. So I just want to put that out there. Now, let's get into some of this other stuff. I'm going to show some videos now, guys, and then we'll get into the news part of all of this. And let me make sure you guys still have sound here. Okay, looking good. I have more people watching on my backup channel than I do on my main channel. Tell me the fucking the censorship isn't just insane. Everybody please hit the thumbs up if you're in the chat. Oh shit, that's not the video I had queued up. What the fuck? Sorry about that. Look at this. Now what in the hell? This is Australia. Now tell me this though, friends. Would you not believe that was a bomb dropping? Would you not believe that was a bomb dropping? And you know what? I hope people know this too. We are so far along in the prophetical timeline, according to scriptures and ancient texts and prophecies. It's not funny. I mean, it's not funny how far along we are. Matter of fact, I'll pull up a clip here in a second. A Christian, but one I respect a lot, that I think has a lot of the truth, was showing this the other day too, like saying how Christians are so asleep to all of this, right? They're so asleep to all of this, it's not funny. They're waiting on these raptures and all these different events that aren't happening. They're not biblical or any of that. As it's all happening right in front of their face. The mark of the beast is already rolled out. I've already shown and proven that, how it marks your right hand and your forehead. So let me pull this up too. After these videos, I'm going to give you a clip here that's going to blow your mind, man. Right here. And let me finish these clips out here for you guys. One more time, though, in Australia. And in my vision, in my dream, when that moon from this red Jupiter-striped planet, which now they're admitting that scientists are measuring the atmosphere of a planet 340 light years away. Look, red striped planet, and it's a hot Jupiter. Okay, the international team of scientists used a ground-based Gemini observatory telescope in Chile. It is the first to directly measure the amount of both water and carbon monoxide in the atmosphere of a planet solar system roughly 340 light years away. Yeah, right. And it says that there are thousands of known planets, and scientists both use telescopes and ground-based telescopes for the exoplanets. For this study, the team is focused on WASP 77AB, right? And we all know about WASP, right? And the type of exoplanet called hot Jupiter, because they are using the solar system's Jupiter, but with a temperature of 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's a planet hell, like Rap the News says, guys. Planet hell, just like what Rap says. And WASP 77b, Kepler, I think, is another one. I'm trying to, Elenin is another one. These are all different fucking names for the same thing. This is all different ways of how they're essentially looking at Planet X with all these different programs, and then saying, "Oh yeah, it's this and it's this, right?" It's not Planet X. It's WASP. It's blah blah blah. And see, planetary defense, nuclear explosions can disrupt hazardous asteroids to protect the Earth. You can see here the hybrid simulation of the spiral that provided the basis for the analysis. 1 megaton at a few meters. Standoff distance from a 100-meter diameter asteroid with a Bennu shape. And remember, Bennu will be coming close. Colors denote velocities in the legend, which is equivalent to 10 kilometers a second. You can see, let's see the images here. Well, maybe. Give us one fucking image. And late time small body disruptions. Let's see the video here. They're showing you what would happen from a nuclear bomb hitting it. Kind of looks like what would happen to the Earth if something hit us too. Just saying. And then look at this. Look what LA County would look like with sea level rise, according to scientific projections. Why are they showing you all of this, guys? You know what I mean? Why are they putting this all out there for you? Think about the Coast Guard, the exercise of China and Russia right off of the Pacific. The most severe impacts of climate change feel far off and away from home, but a series of dramatic photo renderings released by Climate Central make the prospective sea rising levels hit startlingly close to home. And I guess there we go. Here they are. What? Okay. You guys can see this hopefully at home. This is the renderings. You see here, this is before the sea level rise, and here's after. Before, after. Before, after. It's actually pretty cool. Here's another one. Before, after. Before, after, and we'll look at one more. Before, after, before, after, and remember that earthquake drill and all of that taking place. We just talked about it. I've actually got it right here. The haywired earthquake scenario, the societal consequences, or how about asteroids may have stolen the oxygen from Earth's ancient atmosphere. I can't breathe. And here, let's go back to the videos here. That was an airburst, guys. That was an airburst. That thing blew up before it hit the ground right here. Just saying. That was all out of Australia. That was very intense, by the way. Now check this out. I showed you guys the still photos of this. Look at the red planet underneath the moon.
Recording.
Look at that.
Recording. Recording.
The moon will turn to blood. I'm telling you guys, we're far closer than what most people think. They're still clinging to the world and shit. Here we go. These are some images. I want to say these are out of Mexico, I believe. Look in the sky here. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the start. Look at this, guys. Look at that. Skies in Mexico. Look at that, dude. Right there. there. Right here. Look at that. Is that not crazy? Looks like something's like right down here too, going past or something. This shit's getting really close, I know that. See it all over. I mean, how many do you need, you know? Check this out. This was in the United States. You can see the purple in the sky. Look at this. Right here. This is actually a cool little video. Just about a minute long though. Herculobus, the red planet, is approaching Earth again. And all through the history of mankind, numerous prophecies have referred to the end of our world, warning us about apocalyptic catastrophes. And this is the last prophecy. It is surprising that several of them agree on one fact: the passage of a huge red planet very close to Earth. Herculobus is a gigantic world 5 or 6 times bigger than Jupiter, the titan of our solar system. It belongs to a neighboring system. The passage of this planet is not something unusual or new. It's a recurrent, cyclic event and has already passed and will pass again in the near future. Maybe if I can find the link to this book, I'll put it in the description below. Check this out. This is a nasty, nasty tornado here. This is scary footage of a tornado moving across I-10 in Texas. I believe. Yeah, Texas. Come on, you piece of shit. No sound. Look at that lightning, guys. Look at that lightning. Damn. You can't make this shit up, man. I'm serious. Watch this lightning. Boom. Boom. Look like Zeus's thunderbolt, don't it? Crazy, man. Crazy. Right here. Okay, before I show this, a grain of salt, okay? This is supposed to be a UFO sighting. The only reason I am showing this to you is because everybody down below has got their fucking camera phone out. Okay, so I'm going to let you decide this. Is this a real UFO or not? Everyone down below does have their phone out. And if you know of this image, let me know if you know of it to be a fake or whatever. one more time. And I believe they said it was posted yesterday or day before. What do you think, guys? What do you think? And see down here, there's a carnival and shit like that going on. Let's see if it matches up with the other one over here. Yeah, they're down at the carnival too. You can see the rides right there from a different angle. You never can tell, man. It seems like every time I see a fucking UFO video, they're fake, man. You know, they're fake. So I don't know. I don't know. Just to be honest with you, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you at home in the comment section. Tell me, fake, real? Do you know anything about this video? If so, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Here we go. Yeah, okay, I wanted to make sure. This is La Palma. I see a comment here that says that your Bible does say one will be gone from the field, be working to you next and going. It says two in the field and one is taken. Yeah, and what it's talking about is talking about the two U's, higher and lower nature, right? And the purification. It's saying two are standing in the field and one is taken, one is killed, one is gone, removed. It's saying, you know, one of the natures is going to devour the other, right? That's what the harvest is, right? That's what the harvest is you devouring the person, the man, and becoming the higher self.
Distance of up to 1 kilometer was also recorded.
At the same time, volcanic emissions of sulfur dioxide SO2 from the Cumbre Vieja volcano from the island of La Palma moved by air currents across Europe and reached the Urals. Watch in this episode.
Crazy, man. So let me move on here. Check this one out, man. Check this one out. Tell me what you think. You can see the reflection of this red star next to the sun, and look how close it is. You can see its flare off to the side, I believe. That's the flare of it. You can see the halo in the sky too. But there's the sun reflecting off the water, and then right next to it, the red sun reflecting off the water. Take a look at that, guys. Tell me that isn't fucking crazy. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. You know? You don't get... And here's another image right there, up close. Is that not wild as hell right there? Crazy. Yeah, wow, says Matthew Vance. I know. Right here.
Hey guys, it's the 28th of February 2016.
I'm just going over these images again that I caught with my camera on the 26th of Feb, about 10:05 at night. A friend of mine, Sean, who I've met through YouTube, great lad, thank you very much, mate. He's been analysing these images and putting them through some filters or some kind of screen program. I don't really know because I'm not too clever with that kind of tool.
Look at that. I mean, you know, people can't deny that we've been seeing this shit for quite a while, and then look at this.
I don't even know the date. 10/22. Red shining up under the clouds.
And think about it, you know, you see that red sun, it was reflecting off the water. I've never seen that red sun that bright, that obvious in the sky. And then, you know, you got the red gleam right off the clouds here, you know. Don't know what the hell's going on here. It's just not sure what it is. Night sky. Look at that. Something blue. Crazy, man. Pretty wild. And I got a couple videos. Here's the dead internet theory here, guys. I'm going to show just a couple of minutes of this. Let you see what I was talking about. On how this is how they're keeping you from seeing everything. It's wild.
Today I want to talk about something called the dead internet theory. A disturbing and unsettling yet entirely plausible theory that gives me that awful sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. The kind of feeling you get when you know someone is lying to your face. The kind of feeling you get when you connect two formerly unconnected points in your mind, and their newfound connection gives you chills because you didn't want to believe it, but the truth is too obvious to ignore now. This theory adds a deep-seated gut feeling to what many of you have experienced for years and years, but have been unable to put into words. The feeling that something is deeply wrong online, but you can't put your finger on what or why. Many people seem to have pieces and fragments, but no one seems to have figured everything out. Once I explain all of this, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be feeling these exact thoughts. So I'm sorry if I break any worldviews with this video. It honestly isn't my intention. I, like so many others, just want the truth. So let's get right into the dead internet theory. Most of the internet is fake. This theory is a collection of a lot of ideas from many people, but credit must be given to Illuminati Pirate for bringing together so much of this information into a single thread. I'm going to discuss a lot of what he says, as well as pull a ton of information from a variety of sources and comments from all over the web. The simple explanation for the dead internet theory is that the vast majority of the internet is actually generated by artificial intelligence, in conjunction with paid media influencers in order to manufacture consumers for an increasingly wider range of newly normalized products, as well as to dramatically sway public opinion and control the collective attitude or outlook of people or culture. For all of the younger people out there who didn't experience the internet as it used to be, the internet of today is vastly different. Before the advent of the internet-connected cell phone, or the mass adoption of the home computer, before social media even existed, the internet was a place where people came to express passion, hobbies, feelings, and thoughts. It wasn't filtered, or selectively shown to you based on what an algorithm thinks you want to hear. It also wasn't an echo chamber to reinforce your pre-existing beliefs, whatever they may be. It wasn't created to keep you locked into a website or an app for hours and hours every single day. The internet was a collection of human thought, both right and wrong, and what you found and enjoyed was up to you. It wasn't monetized. The point of it wasn't to get as many clicks as possible or to keep you engaged for as long as possible. It just was. The internet was whatever you made it. One doesn't realize that they're living in the Wild West until that wild is taken away from them. Just as such, most of us didn't realize that the freedom of expression of the old internet that we all enjoyed would someday disappear. But here we are. Only now, in its awful absence, do we realize how bad things have gotten. Like I said earlier, a lot of people have had this sinking feeling in their gut for a while, but they didn't understand or realize why. The fact is, there is a massive and incomplete puzzle here. Some of us have a piece or two, but none of us have all the pieces, and anyone that claims otherwise, I wouldn't trust them. This incomplete puzzle connects us all, so it's in our best interest to try to find as many pieces as possible. These days, the internet feels so empty and devoid of people. Have you ever noticed that? Truly hear me out here. The internet feels devoid of content. It's safe, sterile, bland. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, see, or read. There are no experiences anymore. It's a collection of 10 or so websites or apps that everyone visits over and over again until they go to sleep, only to do it again the next day. It's a series of empty husks. The internet seems gigantic, but it's more like a hot air balloon, because there's nothing inside. The same repeated threads and pictures and similar replies reposted over and over again across the years, to the point that it's unremarkable anymore. All of your friends enjoying the same funny video as you, the same talking point shared repeatedly over and over online, or how every day something new is trending, so you better jump in and give your take on it. Every day it's something, so the conversation can never linger too long. There's always the next new or shocking or unusual thing everyone is talking about. I'm sure everyone watching this has heard of a news story that sounds like the one that they've heard 1,000 times before, but this time it's new and shocking and unusual. It boggles the brain. For example, how many times have we heard something about a new type of moon only happening tonight or tomorrow? A blue moon, a blood moon, a super flower blood moon, a pink moon, a super pink moon, a hunter's moon, a snow moon. You get the point. Why does everything feel so fake and manufactured? It's always the same thing or a slightly different thing repeated over and over as if it's produced content made to distract and occupy your mind. Why get out there and march in the streets to demand better wages or safer working conditions after a grueling day of work when you can go home and saturate your mind on endless, mindless escapism? The new super glitter moon is happening tonight, and Jimmy Kimmel just said something that is hilarious, and Dr. Seuss books are changing. Aren't you mad? And have you seen the new Marvel trailer? Don't step back. Don't stop to think. Keep engaged. Keep scrolling. Keep buying. Keep wasting your time. Keep pointlessly arguing with bots online made to offend you to spark unending engagement. Do you like superheroes? How about Hollywood drama? New music? The algorithm is here to feed you an endless supply of content based on what it assumes you want. Have any of you noticed how sterile fiction has become? How it caters to the lowest common denominator and follows the same template over and over again? How music is the same bland, seemingly created in a lab song over and over again? There is a reason for all of this. Algorithms and computer programs have been manufacturing content now for at least a decade that we know of. It's the Wizard of Oz mindset. Once you take a step back and the curtain has been pulled and you see it for what it really is, you can't go back to the way you used to think. It's like knowing Santa isn't real. No matter what you do, you can't make it real anymore. An interesting detail that Illuminati Pirate brought up was anime, and I'm going to include manga as well, and why it's so popular and beloved today. Growth on YouTube, it's all nonsense. I did in front of a camera talking about how they felt or what they've experienced. It was real, it was organic, it wasn't about trends. Nowadays, if you talk about the wrong thing, your video gets demonetized. If you say the wrong thing, your video gets removed. You can speak freely as long as you're okay with being suppressed in the algorithm and no one sees your content. The views, the clicks, the growth on YouTube, it's all nonsense. I did YouTube for 7 years before I got as big as I am today, and it's completely artificial. That's what blew my mind. That was the difference between me not succeeding and succeeding, was realizing that fact. It's all fake. Say the right things and push the right content and you'll succeed. You go with the way the wind is blowing. But if you stand in the face of that wind, you'll be standing there alone with 20 views. And this is not me complaining. These are objective facts. Look at almost any channel you subscribe to and take a look at their views. Individuals are being pushed away in favor of corporate news, corporate music, and safe and inoffensive content that makes money. Another creepy angle regarding YouTube and other forms of media are deepfakes. Not only can computers and AI replicate faces accurately, but now voices as well. The safest thing to assume is that the technology we see in the mainstream today was created 10 to 15 years before we ever saw it. So just imagine what AI can do now, what we won't be able to comprehend for years. It's so creepy to think about. Fake people, fake comments, fake faces, fake articles. It's terrifying. How much of the internet is actually real? People, events, news, so many things could be completely fictional. And I mean, honestly, how would we know?
Yeah, so I'm going to put the link to this video in the chat for you guys. And it goes right along with the entire assimilation stuff we've been talking about, guys. I mean, keep it real. That's what the whole premise is based on, is the fact that we don't know if any of it or anyone is real at this point. I just posted a short not too long ago, the royal family, and it was Hyperflesh. They were wearing Hyperflesh masks, and you couldn't fucking tell the difference. Honestly. You couldn't tell the difference. It looked just like them. I've showed you the robots and them mimicking the walk of the president, right? And him falling up the stairs and all of that. Same thing. As well as, and I believe it even shows it in this video,
to get you to stay,
where they go through and show the holographic shit with Biden too. Where he's literally a hologram, not even in the interview at all, but yet they're trying to convince you that he's at this interview live. And that video, you can find it on Memology 101 if it's still up, if they haven't taken them down. I mean, and what he's speaking about is true. I've seen this shift, man. And you guys know, anybody been watching me? I used to always have at least 100 people in my YouTube chat on my main channel. And then my backup, I would have anywhere from 60, 70, maybe, people there. And I've watched them all just go to basically nothing. And I think it's because they've gotten this down so much that it's only us in the echo chamber of our thoughts. And you guys will even remember me probably saying this just the other day. And that's what caught me so much when I seen this video. I was like, hey, I got like a culture shock whenever I, talk to people outside of this. I get a culture shock because we assume everybody's waking up because all we're fed through our algorithms and our feeds is shit about waking up, right? We're already in the echo chamber. We're already in the box of this genre, this niche. But truth be told, when you step outside of this, you see nobody knows anything about this, and that we're very, very, very rare as opposed to the rest of the masses in the population, right? And I literally found this out the hard way. I go around talking to people in life, and I'm like, whoa, they don't know any of this. It's this culture shock because I'm in an echo chamber of this shit all the time because I'm online a lot doing my work. And I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing, but nobody knows what's really going on. They're all in the delta wave, right? That deep state of sleep and that REM. That's what they're in right now. That's the frequency that's being kicked out right now on the masses. That's where we're at in the agenda. What do you think comes next? This is the virtual reality. That's what the terraforming's about. That's what the assimilation is all about. And I'm telling you, humanity is no longer in control. Everybody you see up there on TV, politicians, all of it, they are avatars for this beast system. Period. You relish what? Hold on. Let me pull this back up. You relish the distinction? Outcast, black sheep? I do too, man. But truth be told, there's a part of me because I do this, as my job and my passion. I want to reach new people. That's why I press so hard about sharing and hitting the thumbs up, and it really, really aggravates me and bothers me when I see, this many people in a chat and half of them will just, it's like effortless to do those things, and it makes such a big difference to the algorithms, and that's what it's all based on. And it's like, I want to reach new people. There are people right now, every day, we're losing people to the Delta wave, is how you have to look at it. So if you don't engage, you don't participate, you don't support, well, that day, you're adding to the problem, basically. If you're not doing it yourself too, we all got to share the information ourselves as well. It can't just be one channel doing everything or that. You've got to do it too, because we're losing people every moment. And I take it personally, like I'm failing people, like that's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm failing people if I don't reach them or I don't get it out there to others. Like that's how passionate I am about it. I care that much. So, it is what it is, right?
Is Raptor News, and this is a fiery warning from the Most High God, who told you that the earth and all its works will be consumed in fire, who also warned you that a fire devours before his coming. He told you in Ezekiel 38:22 that he would rain down fire and brimstone on you, and that fire and brimstones is coming from which you see burning on the horizon. People can take what I'm saying and make a mockery.
Look at that, dude. Tell me you've seen some shit like just tonight. Just tonight. Look at that. Look at that. It's here, man. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. These frequencies, it's coming from this. This is what they'll be connected to. I fucking know it. Deep down in the bottom of my soul, I know it. I can't explain it to you other than how I've explained it before, right? That it's based on frequency, and that this Hydra vulgaris creates these neural networks, and that they're made up of 70-80% stem cells. So they're immortal, right? They're immortal, and they're a water parasite, right? You're 80% water, and that's why. They're putting this in there to connect them to a frequency. And we look at the DARPA Beetle experiment or project, which on iPet Go, it shows the beetle crawling across the kid's forehead with a little symbol on it because he has an RFID chip on the back of the beetle. And I've showed you guys the documents. It's all in my private playlist. All of it. If you look at the band playlist, you watch our uncensored shows on Discord, you know what I'm talking about. I went through all of it. And we're coming to the final understanding. That should let you know where we are. How far along we are. We're understanding things. Look at that. We are understanding things that I never would have thought in a million years I would be able to understand. Honestly. I never thought in a million years I'd be talking like this to you right now. Some sci-fi shit, some Terminator shit, and literally telling you, hey, it's actually in the Bible, dude. I never thought in a million years. I'm not a religious person, guys. I'm not. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in spirituality. I believe in Jesus. I believe Jesus came to this earth and he was a physical man. And I believe that, all of that, right? Like I believe all of that was true, but my understanding of it is far different than religion. Okay? That's the difference. I don't allow someone else to tell me what it means to me, right? And I'm not going to tell you what it means to you. That's up to you. And I won't fault you no matter what you decide it means to you. That's up to you. Just like it's up to you on whether you assimilate and capitulate to this agenda. It's close. It's close. It's close. And we could save people with this information. We could save people. We really could. And they know that. We've been saved by this information. Maybe not from this channel, but from one another. From Facebook posts, from other YouTube channels. Like, we've been saved by it. So why do we think we can't do it for others? And why have we stopped trying to do it for others? The hour's late. We're almost out of time to have all this, at hand. Like, we got all of it. All this right here at the tip of our fingers. Every tool we need. Every tool we need. And we're recruiting is what we're doing. This is a war. I hope you know that. It is a war. It is a war. I'm not encouraging you to buy into duality. But what I'm telling you is it's a spiritual warfare. And there is a good and an evil in all of this. Whether you believe in good and evil or not. The ones that are trying to oppress you. The ones that are trying to manipulate you. And exterminate you. They're not trying to cull you down and thin out the herd. They're trying to exterminate all of us, by the way. They know that it's a war and they see it as such. And it's a war against the saints to them. And the saints is those who wrestle with this darkness. Those who fight against this darkness. If you're not in that fight, then you've lost it. That's the truth. If you're not in that fight, you've already lost it. That's why you're not in it. You've already lost it. I am watching people right now, people that have subscribed to me for years, people that know everything I know, probably more in some situations, take this agenda. They're just taking it. Like, oh, I can't lose my job. Oh, I can't do this or that. Don't you understand? Like, there is an element of faith in all of this. You have gotten through so much already. And because the understanding of religion's telling you it hasn't even begun, which is just ridiculous. Because religion's saying, no, it hasn't even started yet. You're feeling like you're already beaten. No, friend. It's almost over. It's almost over. You almost made it to the finish line. So why are you still, clinging to the world like it's going to do you any fucking good? Like it's done you any good up until this point. I don't get it. I don't get it. Are you blind? Are you blind? Why wait till the last hour to roll over? Why wait till the last hour to be a shitty person? When it matters most, when it's all on the line. When we need you more than we ever have. Why give up on us? I can't tell you how many people I've had to block recently. Just for... And it's like people that's watched me for years too. Wait till the last hour to decide they want to attack it. Wait till the last hour to decide they want to sow doubt and division and want to watch it burn. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. When we should be stronger than we ever have been. Look at all we've been through. Look at all we've been through. Look at all we made it through. Like we should be fucking machines by now, and not literal machines like them. But we should be badasses. There should be nothing that could affect us at this point. Nothing that could deter us from our mission. Nothing that could sow doubt in our minds. Nothing that could turn us against each other at this point. Or against any one of us doing anything that reflects who we are as a whole. So why are we allowing it to happen? I was watching something. A very wise person was saying that this is the lowest state of consciousness, an all-time low in humanity right now. We are witnessing the lowest vibration humanity has ever had. Well, guess what that means? Because there is a duality here. You flip that coin, that means we are at the highest state that we ever have been then. Too. Right? Both sides. As evil rises, so does the good. So if we are at the lowest state ever, then there is the possibility of being at the highest state also. Why are we not embodying this? Why are we allowing the world to weight us down? To take all of this from us? All we worked so hard for? At the last hour? The last hour? Why have you lost your faith now? When it all means something? When it's tangible and you can actually see it and touch it? It's beyond me. It honestly is. It's beyond me. I really do hope that everybody watching understands. Look, they're preparing. Humanity's first asteroid defense mission, less than 1 month from launch. Remember the images I showed you? Right? Remember of the leaked image of the asteroid they believe is going to slap the Earth? Remember all of this? The turrets? And when it peaks, same fucking time they're supposed to be deflecting these things? Huh? There's scientific abstracts for it. See? The smoking gun. Right here. Detection of cometary activity. November. The most stunning meteor shower in the sky. And these are the most famous ones too. Over the years we've tracked these. The Taurids. And I believe I want to say it's 29P. 29P that's getting ready to pass. You can see there's the ecliptic. It coming from under the ecliptic. Taurus from the east. Aries. Out by the dog star. This should be familiar to you. 2P Inky. The prophecy, Nostradamus, that coincided with the biblical prophecy and Apophis. Every 3.3 years it passes. Sounds familiar, huh? 3.5 years, 42 months. What happened the last time it went by? Tunguska, Spanish flu, World War. Or how about this? Hubble targets volcanic comet 29P. Volcanic comet? Huh? Even Hubble is observing 29P. Yesterday, the Space Telescope targeted the volcanic comet for 2 orbits, gathering data on the latest eruption. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers are watching shells of cryomagma billow into space from their own backyards. And this is mission 29P. This is the same system, guys. Solar activity intensifies. AR-2891 is big enough to swallow it whole. Don't drop that planet, sunspot. AR-220. See? Huge shit, man. The active region yesterday was rotating over the sun's northeastern limb, inserted to an image of Earth for scale. 2891 has produced a pair of M1 class flares, multiple C class flares, and a handful of CMEs, 8 flashes of extreme UV radiation hit Earth, ionizing the top of our atmosphere, causing brief shortwave radio blackouts. Just wait until AR-2891 is actually facing Earth. For the next 2 weeks, it will transit the face of the sun, increasing the geo-effectiveness of future flares. How about that? It's not even facing us. It's not even facing us. You can see the flashes on the GOES X-ray flux, right? We're getting slammed. Not even facing us. This is what they're preparing for. Remember, the sun, the solar activity triggers seismic activity. This is what they're preparing for. Haywired earthquake scenario and the societal consequences. Power grid down. That's what they're preparing for. Let me see if I can put this in the chat for you guys so you can actually go check this out yourself. Ever think that we're a comet heading for some other planet and they're observing our orbit because we're a danger to them? I think we're part of the sun, more than likely, just to keep it real. I think we're part of the sun. What's this? Null break. Massive solar X-ray. Let's see what we got here. October 27, 2021, massive solar X-rays bombarded the Earth. CMEs to arrive soon. Thank you. Wow. See the footage right here. Look at that. And see what it's going around to. That's the craziest part of it all. Look at that, dude. Do you see that? Right there? Shooting past the sun. Take a look down here. Let's take a look at this one. You'll see the sun reaching out as it goes past. And of course they cut the image. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Here's the... Look at that, man. And see, it's grabbing a hold of something. They've got this blacked out or something out here. It's just spraying. It looks like La Palma. What do you think is creating all of this? They told you all the Arctic ice just melted and broke apart. I told you that happens right before the event. November, guys. That's when they say. November. And you heard Alex Jones talk about the asteroid that had killed 3 billion people. William Shatner said everybody, when he went into space, all he seen was death. The coming cataclysm. Look at that. Wow. Stop it. Right there. Look at that. Do you see that? You can see a round object in here. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. But this is going around something fucking huge. Wow. Yeah, see, you actually seen something out here. You can see shit right out here where they blacked it out. Jesus, man. See? See how it's reaching all the way out here? Same places. You can see the same round looking right there. And it just so happens I just showed you images. See it? Look. Right there, guys. See that? See how it's going around something? They blacked it out. That's what they've done. They blacked it out. You can see it right here. Why would it be going the opposite direction of the way it's blowing off the sun? Because it's going around something. See? Every time you can see where it hits. Wow, dude. I've never seen no shit like this. And this was also one of the telltale signs. This was one of the telltale signs, guys. The sun's activity. You know? Yeah, that's wild shit. And here you go, right here too. This is the data. Hubble Space Telescope observed 29P. Right here. Very wild. Big ass volcanic comet. Right here. See? The latest outburst of Comet 29P. Look at the data. Look how it jumps straight up. October. Look. Boom. Latest images. Look at that, man. Right here. And this is Swasman Walkman. Right there. There it goes. There's the color of it. You guys can see it right there. Right there. And remember the video I just showed you guys not too long ago? Where's it at? Right here. I wonder if that's what they're capturing. I wonder if that's what they're capturing. Ain't that wild? Damn, dude. I wonder if that's what they're looking at right there. If that's like the comet and the coma around it. That would be nuts. That would just be absolutely nuts. Look at it. It's blue and shit too. And then, like I said, you can see it right next to the sun. You can see its reflection in the water. You know? Look at the World Earthquake Report. They never give us half of these things anymore. Asteroids stealing the oxygen from Earth's atmosphere. If you guys ever seen, it's called Melancholia. It's a movie. And a big blue Nibiru-like planet goes passing by. And it sucks the Earth's atmosphere as it passes. Then we have the double asteroid redirection test coming up. Earth tipped on its side and back again in a cosmic yo-yo 84 million years ago. The planet looked a little weird. How about that? Huh? How about that? Earth tipping like a yo-yo. I feel like there was a channel called the Best Damn Podcast that told you that when this thing pulls up on us, it's going to grab a hold of the mid-Atlantic ridge and pull us forward, tipping us like a fucking yo-yo. Now they're confirming exactly what I told you would happen. Exactly. It's what they want you to believe. Well, only one, we don't know. It's what they want you to believe, sure. But whether it's what they want you to believe or not, I mean, if that's what the physical reality is experiencing, then that's what's happening in the physical reality. You know, most people don't believe this. but yet some reason it still appears to be happening. Most people believe it's something entirely different, so it's not us creating this. We're not creating this. Something else is creating this. Absolutely. Because there's such a small percentage of people awake or that believe in Planet X or any of that. So that's, are they creating the entire collective reality of Planet X around everybody else that has no fucking clue of its existence and most people don't believe it's complete bullshit? I don't think so. Something's taking place. Something's taking place. Well, people are welcome to believe whatever they want to believe. But look, thousands of dead sea creatures washing up on the English beaches. See this? Is that fake too? Is that fake too? I mean, are the images we're showing, are they all fake? New sunspot firing off solar eruptions.
Today is October 27th, 2021, 4:30 p.m. Central.
Announced inbound meteor 2021 UH1. Got all kinds of the new ones. The red ones in between us and the moon.
Is very. I will put my money.
Look at this. All the shipping cargo. That's just traffic. Or how about this? The next pandemic. Marburg. Avoid handling or eating bush meat. Potential infection that could spread from animals. Oh, so good thing we got impossible meat, right? And I talked about this in the last private show also. I can't get into it too much tonight, but in the next private show this weekend, let's just say that we'll be getting into this also. We'll be looking at all of this, including what I was telling you all about the delta waves and how it causes REM sleep and a sleep state, and all of it. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. Like I said, please hit the thumbs up if you're in the chat, or if you catch this on the flip side, please hit the thumbs up for me so other people can see it. And share this link wherever you're watching it from. Make sure to subscribe and follow, and then take a second to share it for me. Just share it. That way new people can see it, man. It's so important right now. You're on social media anyways, and I post it on all the different platforms. And guys, I do need your support. I haven't pushed, donations or support or anything the whole entire time since I come back to creating content, but I actually need some help right now. If not, this will be the last video till after, I think, the 2nd of November, and it's just because we didn't even get close to reaching the monthly goal, and I couldn't pay for all the services. So that's just the truth to it. So I do need support. That way I can continue to do what I do. If not, then I'll see you around November 3rd. This will be the last one till then. So hopefully people will donate and give. I don't know why there is such a fucking... People are such dicks in the comments anymore, man. People that's watched for years. Seriously. The things that people say... They act like it's I'm not a good person or something because I do this for a living, or they act like there's some stigma or something. Like, how do you think we're pushing out on all these sites and shit? How do you think we're pushing out on all these platforms? I'm paying to do that, Like, I don't know why people act like that. Honestly, I don't. And it's really ugly, too. To try to shame somebody for making an honest living, or try to shame somebody because they're trying to reach so many people. Everything's free, too. Everything. Except the private content, which I give away for free most of the time, too. So, I'm asking for some help because I need it. So, please do it. And if not, then I can't afford it. So I'm having to work a side job just to take care of myself. So that's the way it is. If you want to shame me, shame me. Everybody, please join the Best Damn Podcast Discord. I'm going to put the link in the description here, in the chat. I'm probably going to go over there after. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Patty. I don't know. I think it's like everybody says more about them. I agree, Mark. It does. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really surprised me. Like, I don't know if I expected it to be like this. Like, you think you know people, and then you realize you don't. You know, like you think you know some people, and you think, like, I had a lot of faith in a lot of people, like a lot of hope in a lot of people. Like, I just thought they were good people. And then then I've seen, like, some of the people I thought were good have been the worst to me. Like, for stupid stuff. Or will judge you. And I mean, judge you to the point they don't want you or anyone else to forget any mistake you've ever made. Like they're perfect when they're usually a bigger piece of shit than everybody in the room. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't even know what goes through a person's mind that acts that way or behaves that fucking way. For real. You're this late in the game, you're this far along, and all you want to do is spend your time downing other people and trying to judge other people and trying to harm other people in whatever way you can because you're that fucking miserable. Like, I don't get it. So, General Green loves you. Well, sometimes blind faith, we let our guard down. Yeah, I do. Well, you always appreciate and respect my honesty. Well, that's what I'm trying. You know, the shit is, I'm not perfect. Never have claimed to be perfect. I've made mistakes. I'm not. But I've always come out and said my shit if I have to. Whether it's about content when I got something wrong or it's something I done personally I wasn't proud of. I've owned my shit. You know, I've owned my shit. And the people that always judge me, I find, are people that would never own their shit. And they can't stand that I did mine. And I've said this before, guys, people love to build you up, but they love even more to tear you down. And I mean this. I'm not just saying it because I'm on YouTube and I want people to feel sorry for me. I don't. That's not what I'm getting at. But that's what it is. People will build you up, but they love even more to tear you down. And it's not because you're some terrible person always. Sometimes people do bad shit, and that's why they're getting torn down. But most of the time, it's because of how that person feels about themselves on the inside. And I can tell you, all the ones I blocked and shit are people, and that's what's sad about it, are people I've taken my own personal time to talk to when they call in the middle of the night and want to tell their problems and shit. I've never once complained to them about it one time. And then to watch them turn on me like that, it's like, oh, okay, I see how it is, you know. But it's just confirmation that they're fucked up inside. They don't feel good about themselves, so they damn sure don't want you to feel good about you, and they don't want to see other people approve of you either, right? They're like, no, I hold a grudge against you, so everybody should hold a grudge. Or no, I hold a grudge against myself, so everybody should hold a grudge against you too. That's the way it is, man. I'm one of the best of the best. I don't know about that, man. You know? I don't know about that. I try, though. I do try to do my best, and I work my fucking ass off at this, whether people believe that or not. I work my fucking ass off at this. So, whenever people are talking about, this and that, I swear to you, I work my ass off. So, and I have for years and years. And I'm very passionate about it. And that's why I get so amped up and get so riled up over shit. It's because I care that much. And it's not that I'm caring that much about me. I care about you. Like, I care about you. I know what I know. I want to reach people. I want to fucking save people. I haven't always been a good person in my life. I want to do good. Like, I don't know, I fucked up big time in my life before I ever done any of this shit. And I want to repay that. I want to change that. That's why I care so much. I want to add good on the scales. You know? So maybe it's a selfish reason, I don't know. But it's the truth. So, thank you so much, Donna Marie Farrell, Ice Cream Day, Patty Statler, Mark Love, Shanif Nee for the Great White North, Dick Flinghammer, fucking funny, Charlie Jones, Phoenix I Am, did I say Ice Cream Day? Jimmy Neutron, Waze Easy, Diane Livermore. Thank you guys. I love y'all, man. And every one of you guys in here, even you, Phoenix, with your mean ass, you guys have stuck with me always, and I never felt like you guys have judged me in all of that. I feel like I'm very blessed in that, man. I am. I'm very, very blessed in that. I've had a core group of people that I felt like have been on my team no matter what I was going through. And, so I am grateful for you guys. I want you to know that. And I love you guys. So, thank you for everything you do. All right, guys. Thumbs up, comment, share, support. And I will see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll put out a little video before I do it to give you guys the links and all of that. I'll be on Boogeyman channel. All right, guys. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. God bless you all. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Peace.
Shout out Raven. Blood on my teeth, don't be walking down the street. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never eat. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never sleep. Pull up in a park and these bitches look at me. Look at P. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. Fake friends, they don't wanna see me win now. Deep water, they don't wanna see me swim now. Water on my wrist, castle for my bitch now.
Yeah, I dropped out of school, but that money coming in. My mouth full of jewels, she like it when I grin. Tracy the Prince, sipping champagne inside of the lift. My cat so big, I'm sorry girl, but you can't come in. Lil' P, why do they hate? My bitch so bad, told that bitch to behave. I run it up, they wanna see me crawl. All they do is talk, please get off my balls. Yeah. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. The moon's out, I feel like myself again now. Fuck you, fuck her and fuck them. If I died today, you would try to fuck my bitch. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. The moon's out, I feel like myself again now. Fuck you, fuck her and fuck them. If I died today, you would try to fuck my bitch.
On my teeth, don't be walking down the street. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never eat. I'll be in the dark, white bitch you never sleep. Pull up in a park and these bitches look at me. Look at P. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. Fake friends, they don't wanna see me win now. Deep water, they don't wanna see me swim now. Water on my wrist, castle for my bitch now. Brick walls, ain't nobody getting in now. Fake friends, they don't want a bitch.